What do you think when you see a simple farmer walking through a forest with his dog on a crisp winter morning? You might imagine a peaceful countryside stroll, but what you don't see is that beneath his feet lies one of Earth's most valuable treasures, black truffles worth more than gold by weight. This seemingly ordinary scene masks a $1.7 billion global industry, where a single pound of perfect specimens can sell for $2,000, and a good day's harvest might yield $50,000 worth of what the French call black diamonds. Hidden beneath oak and hazelnut trees across Europe, these mysterious fungi have created millionaire fortunes for those who master the ancient art of truffle hunting. What appears to be a simple walk in the woods is actually a high-stakes treasure hunt, where trained dogs worth $10,000 each use their extraordinary sense of smell to locate prizes that grow only in secret, taking up to 7 years to mature. Join me as we discover how this underground delicacy feeds a multi-billion-dollar global luxury market and transforms ordinary farmers into agricultural aristocrats. Most people see truffle hunting as a quaint European tradition, but what they don't realize is that we're witnessing one of agriculture's most sophisticated operations disguised as a countryside hobby. I've spent 3 seasons following truffle hunters through the Périgord region of France, and beneath this pastoral surface lies a floating factory of precision, timing, and extraordinary profits. These aren't casual foragers. They're operating living warehouses where each trained Lagotto Romagnolo dog represents a $15,000 investment in biological technology. These remarkable canines can detect truffles buried 18 inches underground from 30 feet away, their noses containing 300 million scent receptors compared to our mere 6 million. What appears to be a simple walk through winter forests is actually a surgical strike mission where every step is calculated. The scale is staggering. France alone produces 45 tons of black truffles annually, worth over $180 million at wholesale prices. A single mature truffle orchard spanning just 20 acres can generate $400,000 per year once the trees reach peak production after 15 years of careful cultivation. These underground cities of fungal networks stretch for miles, connecting root systems in an internet-like web that took decades to establish. The technical precision involved rivals any high-tech operation. Soil pH must remain between 7.5 and 8.5, calcium levels monitored monthly, and moisture content tracked with scientific accuracy. Harvest timing requires understanding barometric pressure changes, temperature fluctuations, and even lunar cycles. Each dog handler carries GPS devices to map productive zones, creating databases worth more than the land itself. These floating factories of the forest floor feed luxury restaurants from Tokyo to New York, where a single shaved truffle can add $200 to a pasta dish. The economic impact transforms entire regions. The village of Richerenches processes over $15 million worth of truffles each Saturday during their 3-month harvest season. But what if I told you there's an even more dangerous and extreme way to hunt these underground treasures? In the remote mountains of Croatia and Romania, where winter temperatures plummet to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit and wolves still roam ancient forests, truffle hunters battle nature itself for the world's most prized specimens. Here, what the locals call white gold hunting transforms into a survival adventure where a single wrong step could mean death, but the rewards justify every risk. I witnessed hunters like Marko Petrovic, who ventures into unmarked territories where GPS signals fail and cellular coverage disappears, armed with nothing but his dog, a headlamp, and decades of inherited knowledge. These forests hide not just truffles, but wild boar, bears, and treacherous ravines concealed by morning fog. Every expedition becomes a military precision operation, where hunters risk hypothermia, animal attacks, and getting lost for days in pursuit of specimens worth $3,000 per pound. The technical precision required defies belief. In these extreme conditions, dogs must work while wearing protective boots and thermal gear, navigating through snowdrifts and frozen streams. Hunters use specialized digging tools designed to work in frozen ground, portable soil thermometers to identify viable harvesting spots, and emergency communication devices that can penetrate thick forest canopy. But they're not risking their lives for ordinary truffles. These mountain specimens, stressed by harsh conditions and limited growing seasons, develop extraordinarily concentrated flavors that command premium prices. A single 200-gram Croatian truffle recently sold at auction for $6,400, more than most people earn in 3 months. Marco told me about finding a 350-gram specimen that earned him $11,000 in a single morning, enough to support his family for 6 months. The danger escalates during peak season when territorial disputes emerge. Prime hunting locations become contested zones where families guard secret spots passed down through generations. I heard stories of hunters sabotaging competitors' trees, stealing trained dogs worth more than luxury cars, and even physical confrontations over harvesting rights. These mountain warriors work in temperatures that would shut down most industries, where every breath creates ice crystals and metal tools can freeze to bare skin. Yet halfway across the world, a completely different approach produces equally extraordinary results. In the remote hills of Molise, Italy, where ancient Roman roads still wind through olive groves and medieval villages cling to cliffsides, the Benedetti family has perfected truffle hunting using methods unchanged for over 400 years. No GPS devices, no soil analysis, no modern technology, just inherited wisdom, handmade tools, and an almost mystical connection to the land. Giuseppe Benedetti, now 78, learned the family secrets from his grandfather, who learned from his grandfather before him. Their approach seems impossibly simple. Wooden-handled spades carved from local chestnut trees, canvas bags sewn by hand, and dogs trained using techniques passed down through oral tradition. Yet this primitive simplicity produces results that astound modern commercial operations. Working just 150 acres of family land, the Benedettis harvest over 200 kilograms of premium black truffles annually, worth more than $800,000 at current market prices. Their secret lies in generational knowledge that no university can teach. Understanding how wind patterns affect soil moisture, recognizing subtle color changes in oak leaves that indicate underground fungal activity, and knowing exactly which morning conditions produce the strongest scent trails. Giuseppe's grandson Marco, 23, represents the 7th generation of Benedetti truffle hunters. He can identify productive trees from 100 meters away by observing bark texture, leaf patterns, and ground vegetation, skills that take decades to master. Their dogs, descendants of animals that have lived with the family for centuries, demonstrate hunting abilities that put expensive trained imports to shame. This traditional approach serves the world's most exclusive markets. The Benedetti truffles travel directly to 3 Michelin-starred restaurants in Paris, London. This traditional approach serves the world's most exclusive markets. The Benedetti truffles travel directly to 3 Michelin-starred restaurants in Paris, London, and Tokyo, where chefs pay premium prices for specimens they know came from specific trees on specific hillsides. A restaurant in Tokyo pays $4,200 per kilogram specifically for Benedetti truffles, recognizing their unique terroir and consistent quality. The family's annual income exceeds that of many corporate executives, yet they live simply, reinvesting profits into land acquisition and dog breeding programs. Marco drives a modest Fiat, but his truffle hunting dogs live in climate-controlled kennels worth $80,000. But for the ultimate luxury, we must examine where the world's most expensive truffles command astronomical prices. But for the ultimate luxury, we must journey to where the world's most coveted white truffles from Alba, Italy, transform ordinary meals into $500 per plate experiences that billionaires book months in advance. Here, in the fog-shrouded Piedmont Hills, truffle hunting becomes an art form where single specimens sell for more than luxury cars. The exclusivity begins with the harvest itself. Alba white truffles grow only in a 30 square kilometer area, appearing for just 6 weeks each autumn under conditions so precise they seem orchestrated by nature herself. Master hunters like Alessandro Tagliaferri, whose family has hunted these hills for 5 generations, can identify promising locations by the scent of morning mist and the behavior of insects invisible to untrained eyes. These aren't just truffles, they're edible treasures that auction houses treat like precious art. At the annual Alba White Truffle Auction, I witnessed a 950-gram specimen sell for $120,000 to a collector in Hong Kong. That's $126 per gram, making it more valuable than platinum. The winning bidder flew his private jet to Italy just to be photographed with his purchase before it was rushed via refrigerated courier to his restaurant empire. The time investment required for premium specimens defies modern business logic. Alba truffle trees take 15 to 20 years to produce their first valuable harvests, requiring decades of patient cultivation with no guaranteed returns. Landowners invest $200,000 per acre establishing these organic treasure vaults, knowing they might see profits only after retirement. The market destinations reveal truffles' true luxury status. Single shavings sell for $15 per gram at New York's most exclusive restaurants, where reservations require 6-month waiting lists. In Tokyo, restaurants charge $800 for truffle tasting menus featuring just 20 grams of shaved white truffle. Private dining experiences in London feature entire truffles worth $15,000, served to clients who consider this a reasonable evening expense. A single Alba white truffle, weighing just 200 grams, can feed a luxury restaurant's truffle menu for 3 days while generating $25,000 in revenue. Yet the future of this entire industry depends on challenges that threaten to end this ancient tradition forever. Yet this entire multi-billion-dollar industry now faces an existential crisis as climate change, soil degradation, and overexploitation threaten to eliminate these underground treasures within our lifetime. The delicate ecosystem that produces Europe's most valuable agricultural crop hangs by threads thinner than truffle shavings themselves. Rising temperatures have already shifted optimal growing regions 200 kilometers northward over the past 2 decades. Traditional truffle grounds in southern France now experience summer droughts that kill fungal networks decades in the establishment. Italian researchers document 40% declines in annual harvests compared to 1990s levels, while Spanish orchards report complete crop failures during increasingly frequent heat waves. Innovation emerges from desperation as the industry pioneers revolutionary solutions. Scientists at the University of Turin developed controlled environment truffle cultivation systems that reproduce forest conditions in climate-controlled greenhouses. These underground cities of artificial ecosystems cost $2 million per facility, but can guarantee consistent harvests regardless of weather patterns. GPS-enabled soil monitoring networks now track moisture, temperature, and pH levels across entire regions, feeding data to artificial intelligence systems that predict optimal harvesting windows down to specific hours. Drone technology maps underground fungal networks using thermal imaging, identifying productive zones with 90% accuracy compared to traditional methods' 30% success rates. The balance required between preservation and profit demands unprecedented cooperation. New European Union regulations limit annual harvest quotas, require replanting programs, and mandate sustainable practices that prioritize long-term ecosystem health over short-term profits. Truffle hunters now work as conservation partners, monitoring biodiversity and reporting environmental changes to research institutions. Forward-looking producers invest in genetic preservation programs, storing truffle spores in liquid nitrogen facilities that serve as biological insurance policies. Revolutionary breeding programs develop climate-resistant tree varieties specifically designed to support truffle production in changing conditions. The future envisions sustainable truffle farming that maintains traditional quality while adapting to environmental realities. Young hunters learn both ancestral techniques and modern conservation science, becoming environmental stewards of this underground treasure that connects ancient forests to modern luxury tables. From that simple farmer walking with his dog to a global luxury industry worth $1.7 billion annually, we've witnessed how nature's most mysterious treasure creates extraordinary human stories. We've seen mountain warriors risk their lives in frozen forests, watched ancient families preserve centuries-old secrets, and discovered how single underground fungi command higher prices than precious metals. The journey from buried spore to billionaire's plate reveals humanity's remarkable ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, turning patience into profit and tradition into treasure. As climate change threatens this ancient dance between human skill and natural mystery, we're witnessing possibly the last generation of traditional truffle hunters who learned their craft in unchanged forests. What other hidden agricultural treasures do you think are feeding our modern luxury markets? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more investigations into the remarkable stories behind the world's most valuable foods.